opening this up. You're going to hear from Commissioner of Public Safety Jacobson. You're going to hear from Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Manke, and you're going to hear from DNR Wildfire Administrator Warnke on an update of the situation on the wildfires. I had the opportunity about 9 days ago to be up in Ely, be able to talk to some of the folks up there who were in the fight, folks who were doing great work providing meals to our firefighters. And then I think the thing that was so encouraging is to just be in the community amongst businesses and amongst locations where food and supplies were being dropped off. And again, this incident started with lightning strikes in the early part of July. We're about 4 weeks into this. And I will just say in just great thanks and admiration to those on all levels of this fight, those firefighters who are out there. No loss of life, no significant injury, and protection of the vast majority of our infrastructure. With that being said, about 65,000 acres in these fires have burned on the U.S. side of this. We've had about 875 direct firefighters personnel involved in this fight over that time. You'll hear the update of where we're at on this. I think the high overall on this is we're in a better spot than I think I anticipated, and I think that many of us did because of that. And you'll hear Administrator Warnke talk a little bit. The weather did cooperate on that. Weather different than the overall climate picture. We're still in drought, and we are reminded, I think a very good point on this is that even with rain, our vegetation is at a point where it's starting to go dormant. I know it's hard to hear for all of us, but we're entering fall, and we're actually entering fire season by traditional standards would be right now. So this fight, the resources that went into it, the personnel and everything that's gone into this was early for that. With that being said, we're in a good spot on this. You'll hear about the containment pieces of it. I think, again, you'll hear from Commissioner Jacobson, his assessment on where we're at on the needs and the personnel that are out there. But I think to Minnesotans, just once again, this is a coordinated effort. It was local. It was the counties, it was the state, it was the federal government, and it was internationally with our Canadian partners who, once again, great debt of gratitude for getting our campers out of there when we needed to. So this is well coordinated. It is a well-established protocol. The relationships are there. They kick in when the need is there. There are certain things that we need to do, like peacetime emergencies, that open up some of that toolbox that's there. But the toolbox is well tested. It works. And in this case, I would have to say it was executed incredibly well, which I'm grateful for. So I'm going to turn to Commissioner Jacobson to give you a little bit of an update on that, and then we'll move forward. Commissioner.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Bob Jacobson. I'm the Commissioner of Public Safety, and it's my honor to serve in that position. First, I want to thank every firefighter, National Guard member, federal partner, law enforcement officer, emergency manager, tribal partner, and volunteer who have stepped up throughout these wildfires. Your dedication to public safety and the protection of our northern communities does not go unnoticed. Your professionalism, your teamwork and commitment have preserved lives, they preserve property, they preserve communities. Minnesota is truly fortunate to have a public safety community that never hesitates to answer the call when people need them the most. I also want to recognize the many state agency staff working in the State Emergency Operations Center. While firefighters have been on the front lines, countless others have worked behind the scenes to coordinate resources, support local governments, and keep this response moving forward. I also want to thank the residents of northern Minnesota. There is no denying how difficult evacuations are. Families have put their lives on hold to leave in a moment's notice. Your patience and your trust in firefighters have made this work possible. Thousands of acres have burned across northern Minnesota and Canada. They have required collaboration between governments on a local, county, state, tribal, and federal level. And thanks to the incredible coordination of our partners, there has been no loss of life and limited damage to major structures. That is an extraordinary accomplishment and a testament to the dedication of everyone who has been involved. I want to share that after consultation with the Department of Natural Resources and our partners on the ground, we have determined a peacetime emergency extension is not needed. Conditions have improved, and we are confident that the response can continue under existing authorities. While firefighting operations continue, our focus has also shifted towards recovery, which begins long before the last fire is ever put out. Our Homeland Security and Emergency Management Division of DPS is already working with impacted counties to conduct damage assessments. Through this process, our team helps qualified communities across Minnesota's Disaster Assistance Contingency Account, a state-funded resource that provides financial relief to local communities after natural disasters. HSEM is also convening the Minnesota Recovers Task Force, which is a group of federal, state, and local partners that identify recovery needs and resources. This team is developing a centralized recovery webpage where residents, local governments, and partners can find all of the information in one place. This resource will be available in a few weeks on our DPS website. So while the wildfire response enters a new phase, our commitment to the impacted communities remains unwavering. We will continue to stand alongside our local partners for as long as it takes to see the fires extinguished and the communities recovered. So thank you to everyone who has answered the call to serve Minnesota during these challenging weeks. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Major General Manke. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, Governor, fellow state partners, members of the media. I'm Major General Shawn Manke, and I'm humbled and honored to be the Adjutant General of your Minnesota National Guard. And although we have completed our support of the incident for now, the men and women of the Minnesota National Guard were proud to stand alongside the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, local fire departments, law enforcement, emergency managers, and many state and local partners as we responded to these devastating wildfires. From July 12th through yesterday, more than 110 Minnesota National Guard soldiers and airmen supported wildfire response throughout northeastern Minnesota. The challenging terrain of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness made this mission especially demanding. With limited road access and fires burning in remote areas, aviation became essential to protecting lives, property, and other resources. Our UH-60 Blackhawk helicopters are the backbone of Army aviation. They are routinely used across the nation for state active duty missions because they provide speed, versatility, and reliability needed when communities need our help. With our emergency helicopter, our crews flew over 62 hours, delivering over 170,000 gallons of water onto active fire lines. Our state and nation need continued modernization of these aircraft to support Minnesota, our nation, and the federal missions as they come forward. This mission also demonstrates the strength of our joint force. While our soldiers flew firefighting missions in secured areas, our airmen from the 148th Fighter Wing provided vital aviation fuel support so that we could do the mission. And our communications teams restored reliable radio communication throughout northeast Minnesota, and so first responders could coordinate effectively. In total, the Guard provided over 660 man-days of support. The Minnesota National Guard's motto is, always ready, always there. Our soldiers and airmen are your neighbors. They work next to you in your offices, and we are part of your local community, working together with partners to keep our community safe. So thank you to the Guard men and women and their families for their professionalism and willingness to answer the call. They reflect the very best of our organization and the state of Minnesota. We thank them dearly, as well as the numerous other teams that responded to this mission and partnered with us and many other agencies to address this wildfire situation. I will be followed by Mike Warnke from the Department of Natural Resources.